This is a April 2022 calculator section. Okay, let's continue. Number 1. Which equation has the same solution as 8x equals 2x plus 12? So you subtract 2x both sides. So 6x equals right hand side 12. So that is equivalent to D. Okay. Number 2. The function k defined by k of x is 3x minus 5 over 2x plus 3. What is the value of k of 1? So you plug it in 1 into x. So 3 times 1 is a 3 minus 5 over 2 times 1 is a 2 plus 3. So negative 2 over 5. So answer has to be C. Number 3. When the temperature of the water is at 25 degrees Celsius, sound travels through the water at the constant speed about 1,500 meter per second. At the same temperature, about how far in meter would the sound travel through the water in 15 seconds? So they ask meter, the distance. So distance, rate times time. Okay, so then your distance will be 1,500 meter per second. I'm doing unit dimensional analysis, unit conversion, times time 15 seconds. So time unit cancels out, so you end up with a meter. So when you multiply it out, 1500 times 15, you get B, 22,500 meter. Okay. Number 4. Digital artist resizes the rectangle image. The ratio of the length of the width of the image did not change. The ratio same. The width of the new image 3 times as long as the original width. Okay, so that is a scale factor. L is the length of the original image, and what expression represents the length of the new image? So this one, just multiply that scale factor, so should be 3L. Okay, the larger one is 3 times of the original one. Question 5 and 6 refer to the following information. They gave you array of numbers. This one in order. Now 11 total. 11 employees at a company were selected at random to participate in a survey. The survey included questions that asked the participants to rate their work satisfaction on a scale of 1 to 10. The list shows the 11 rating of the participants. So which of the following is the closest to the percentage of the participants who gave a rating of 5? Okay. So what is a percent of rating of 5? So I see that here 2 of them. 2 out of 11 is at the 11 data. So that times 100. Okay. And 2 over. So it's about 18%. The answer is B. Okay. Number 6. What is the ratio of the number of participants who gave rating 6 or higher to the number of participants who gave lower than 6? So 6 or higher, that number's right here. So you have 11 minus 3 is 8. So 8 over to the number of participants who gave lower than 6. So 3. So 8 to 3. Answer should be then B. Number 7. In Chicago, 1895, Frank Doria won America's first automobile race by driving 52 miles. In 10 hours, 23 minutes. And then if he drove at a constant rate, the approximate distance he drove y miles. During the race, could be modeled by y equals 5x, where x is the time in hours, and then after the start of the race, which graph best represent? Okay, so which one is y equals 5x? So if it's y equals 5x, you don't have any y-intercept. So y-intercept is 0. So that represent either, so not this one, A or D. So which one has a slope 5? So best way, when you plug in points, right? 2, 10 here. So when you plug in 2, so 10 equals 10. Yes, that works. Also like this point, 4 times 5 is 20. So answer has to be A. Let's see, D. Yeah, D doesn't work. 2 times like this point, 2 times 5 is 10, not 20. So not this one. Number 8, a certain soccer field has an area 7,000 square meter. What is the area in square feet? So it's a unique conversion. 7,000 square meter, and it's at that 1 square meter equivalent to 10.76 square feet. So meter square cancel out when you multiply. So I got 75,320. So C. Okay, unique conversion. Number 9, the graph shown the models the relationship between the distance t kilometers from Earth to Moon and the time t millions of years. Okay, this is also millions of years, and this on kilometer. So unit matching with the graph. Which of the following equations models this relationship? So your slope is since going up, positive slope. So negative slope doesn't make sense. So either C or D. And your y-intercept approximately like a 385. That makes sense. Not negative, definitely. So answer has to be D. Okay. Now, number 10. What is a possible solution? So when you put square root both sides, make sure you put plus minus. So 2x plus 1 equals square root 81. Positive square root 81 is 9. Or 2x plus 1 is negative 9. Okay, because plus minus. So 2x equals 8, x equals 4. And the other one, 2x equals negative 10, so x is a negative 5. So answer B. Number 11, the scatter plot shows the relationship between two variables x and y. Okay, so this is also best fitting line equation. So since this one going down, so should be negative slope. So not this. Answer should be either B or D. Your y-intercept is not like 7. Should be around like 30. So answer D. Okay. Number 12. This one, just divide by 4 both sides, right? Then x plus 1 should be 4. Answer B. Number 13, the equation 0.95C plus 0.05N equals 8.87 represent the density of the copper zinc alloy. C is the density in grams per cubic centimeter of copper. C is the density of copper. And then N is the density of zinc. 8.87 gram per cubic centimeter is density of the alloy when they put it together. The density of the copper is 8.96. And what is the density of zinc? So use that formula they gave you here. So when you plug all the values they gave you, so 0.95, C was the density of copper, and then it said 8.96 plus 0.05 N, that's what you're looking for, density of the zinc, that equals 8.87. So when you solve for N, 0.95 times 8.96, 8.512 plus 0.05 N equals 8.87. When you subtract 8.512 both sides, 0.05 N equals 0.358. So when you divide by 0.05 both sides, I got 7.16. So answer C. Okay, just plug it in, the values. Number 14, the list shown gives the total number of points scored by 7 teams in a curling tournament. The score 30 was recorded in error. So this one was error. If the score 30 points is removed from the list, which statement best describes the effect on the mean and the median number? So when you put in order, 30, 66, 68, 71, 71, 71, 72, 76. Let's look at median first. Original, before 30 removed, the original median was a 71. Because you have a total of 7 numbers, the fourth one will be median. Now after remove this one, you have only 6 numbers left. So if you have an even number of numbers, median is average of 2 numbers. But average 2 numbers in the middle is supposed to 71. So their new mean also 71. So, new median. So median not going to change it. So you should say median remains the same. So not AB. Now, when you talk about mean, since this lowest number drop out, so mean has to increase. You don't have to calculate it. You can just know by dropping the lowest number. If you drop greatest number, your mean should decrease. Okay, but this case, lowest number drop, so mean should increase. So 14D. Okay. Now, number 15. One of the 2 equations in a system is given. So only this is one of them. The system has an infinite number of solutions. Which equation could be the other equation? So for the system of equation, to have infinite number of solutions, then 2 solutions should be identical equation. Okay, so that 2 lines overlap, identical. So which one by multiply certain constant, it will be same. So let's say you multiply 2, then I got A. Because 4x minus 6y equals 10, then you can move on. A has to be answer. Okay, the other one, you cannot make it by multiply certain constant. 17. So which order pair solution to the given system of inequality in xy plane? So this one also you can plug it in and then see which one is which one works. Only one should work. Okay. So College Board usually test maker they knows you're gonna plug it in start from A. So my strategy, you can start either A or D, but I'm gonna start with the D. If that one doesn't work, then probably I'm gonna start with the A and also C and B, that order, to save time. So let's just start from D. So this is xy value. So when you plug it in, 4 less than 1/2 times 2 plus 4. So 1/2 times 2 is 1. So 1 plus 4 is 5. So that works. Now, what about the second equation? So 4 greater than negative 2 times 2 plus 4. Negative 2 times 2 is a negative 4. Negative 4 plus 4 is a 0. So 4 is greater than 0. That works too. Then answer should be D. Then you can move on. Okay? Just simply plug it in. So usually start from the bottom because you're going opposite of what test maker makes. So then C works. If it doesn't work, then I'm going to move to A. And next one C and B, and then see which one works. Okay? (18) The graph of f of x is shown. And then what is the graph of f of x minus 2? So f of x minus 2, this one is a vertical translation. So this one move or translate down 2 units. Okay, so if you move this graph down, so that famous point will be here. Okay, and then your new graph will be like things like that. Okay, that blue one. So which one is like a blue one? Then I see it's like a C, right? So it has to be C. That matches with this one. Number 19, the gross domestic product, GDP of Malta was approximately 250.72 million US dollars in 1970. From 1970 to 1980, the model indicates the GDP increased by 15% per year compared to the previous GDP. Which function represents this model? F of t is estimated GDP in millions of US dollars, and t is the number of years after 1970. So annually per year, 15% increase. So those are number in the inside the parentheses. So initial number 1 plus percent in decimal. So 15% in decimal 0.15. And to the power of t. So that represents every year 15% increase. Let's say 15% decrease every year, then you're going to do 1 minus 0.15 to the power of t. So that represents 15% decrease every year. Okay? So make sure you know that. If it's a plus, then increase, minus, then decrease. So which one same? Initially, it was this, because that's the initial value, 1970, so answer has to be D. Okay? So remember how to set up. Number 20, the box plot shown summarizes the number of tanker dry bulk merchant fleets for 18 countries. So which of the following measures must be greater for the number of tanker merchant fleets than for the number of dry bulk merchant fleets? Okay. So question is which one? Tanker bigger, right? Which one tanker is a greater number? So what do you have to do? First of all, let's look at the median. In this box whisker plot, we call box whisker plot. So I want to know what each one represents. So this is a minimum. This one is a maximum. When you talk about range, max minus minimum. Okay? And this one we call first quartile. And this one is a median. And this one we call third quartile. Okay? And then interquartile range, that is third quartile minus first quartile. Okay, that's good to know. In this problem, they didn't ask, but sometimes they ask interquartile range. So that is a third quartile. So this number minus this number is interquartile range. And then maximum minus minimum is range. Okay. If some data is like way above the rest of the value here, then we call outlier. Okay. So back to this problem. So which of the following must be greater in number of tanker? So median. So when you compare these two numbers, this one and this one, tanker will be bigger, right? It's around 160, and this around maybe this one each dot is represent 20, so this one like around 75 something. So it should be tanker is bigger. So that one you have to choose. What about range? Range for tanker, this minus this one. So let's actually, that looks like bigger than one, but let's calculate it actually. So that one around 400 max. This one around 20. So range for tanker is 400 minus 20, 380. Now dry bulk is right here. 260, 280, 290, around 290 here. And this one right here, I mean, it's not zeros. Should it be maybe like 5? Yeah, 5. So then like 290 minus 5 is 285. So 380 is way bigger than 285. 380 is way bigger than 285. So range is also, you have to choose. So 1 and 2, answer C. Number 22. The average price per oranges at a certain grocery store, 115. Increase at the constant rate each month for several months until the average price reached 141. The equation 1.15 plus 0.065x 1.41 represent this situation. And x is the number of months after average price per pound was 115. So which is the best interpretation of the number 0.065 in this context. So this one is percent increase months, right? So let's see. Average price per pound. No, that's not average. Percent increase. They should say per month, but it doesn't say in here. Okay. So that's a rate of change. Actually, this is a dollar, right? So it's not just a percent. So rate of change in dollar per month, average price per pound of orange. So answer has to be C. Okay. The reason why B cannot be answered. And then it said this is also like X is a number of months after. So this one should say a rate per month. Okay, like this, rate per month. But B doesn't describe that. Okay, so it should be rate of change in dollars per month. So in the average price per pound of oranges, that should be right answer. 21. When you distribute x squared minus 12x minus 12x, I'm distributing this one again. Negative 12 times negative 12 is a plus 144 equals 0. So when you simplify, x squared minus 24x plus 144 equals 0. And then when you simplify, when you factor, x minus 12 square equals 0. It's a factorable like that. Then your only answer is a 12. So we call double roots, but that's only one distinct. Distinct is different. So you don't have any other answer. So it should be exactly 1. Okay. Now number 23. In rectangle ABCD shown, AB is a 6. CD also 6, okay, the other side. AC is a 10, so this is a 10. And if you remember triples, 3, 4, 5, so this one has to be 8 then. Okay. For those of who don't remember, 3, 4, 5, 5, 12, 13, 7, 24, 25, 8, 15, 17. Make sure you memorize it. It'll be much quicker if you know this one. And then 30, 60, 90 is 1, 1, root 2. Okay. And then 45, 45, 90 degrees right triangle. 1, oh, I'm sorry. So this one, 1, root 3, 2. And 45, 45, 90 is 1, 1, root 2. Okay. So make sure you memorize it. So come back to this problem. Question is, what is the value of CE right here? So based on this information, we know that this angle has same. The reason why, let's say this one is example. Let's say this is 20 degrees example. Then you know this angle has to be 70. Why? Because this is right angle, right? So that means if you look at this triangle, angle has to be add up to 180. So this angle right here should be then 20. So that shows this angle always the same as that. Okay. Similarly, this angle also same as than this one. Okay. So for my convenience, I'm going to put it this on 70 like that. So you can see which side is the corresponding side for those two similar triangle. So you're looking for x value. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a proportion. So you can say this side is between 70 and right angle. So it's like this. So what I'm gonna do, 6 over x, same as 10 over 6. Okay, using that similarity. So 6 over x equals 10 over 6. So when you cross multiply, 10x equals 36. So x is 3.6. Okay, the answer is A. Okay, using similarity, you can answer it. Now, 24, 25, refer to the following information. They gave you table. Okay, the table shows the least price discount installation fee for tires from 4 different car repair stores. Assume there is no sales tax, and the information in the table is 4 tires of the same brand and size. Okay. Number 24, store X. The customer buys 4 tires and receives a discount. Does not have tire installed, but 4 tires. And what is the total cost for the customer? So store X. Okay. So I'm gonna look at only here. Store X, that purchase no installation fee, so you're not gonna pay this one. But 4 tires. So it's a per tire $90. So each tire 50% off. So you can say $90 each tire, but minus 90 times 0.15. So that's the price for each tire. And then you're gonna buy 4 of them. Okay. So now let's calculate it. So I got $306. Okay, T. This is 306. Now look at number 25. Now store W. So I'm going to look at this here. Total expense for selling and installing 4 tires, $100. Okay. And then which function represents the profit, P of A, in dollars from selling and installing 4 tires to which the store's discount is applied. So profit equals total amount of money received minus expense. Excuse me. So if you read the discount here, buy 3 tires and get the fourth one free. Okay, so you're gonna pay only 3 tires. So should it be 3 times A, not 4 times A? So C and D out. And here's what you have to add here. Remember, this one is a cost. And then installation fee, that's the cost. For all 4 tires, $50 only. So cost, you're gonna add the $50. Now, total expense is $100. So for the profit, is a total cost, total amount of received from the customer minus expense. Expense is $100. Okay, then that's gonna be profit. So if you simplify, 30A minus 50, answer B. Okay, so follow this one. Profit is total amount of money received minus expense. So this one represent total amount of money got it from the customer. Okay, this is a tire price, and this one is installation fee, but it's the expense is $100. So when you simplify, you get this. Number 26. The height of a certain tree, 2016, 1.35 times the height of tree 2011. By what percentage of the height of the tree increase from 2011 to 2016? So for my convenience, let's say 100. Okay, so that is equivalent to 100%. The 100 is the height of the tree in 2016. I'm sorry, 100 is a 2011. Okay, and then 2011 is a 1.35 times that 10. So then in 2016, 135. Okay, because 1.35 times 100 is 135. So what percentage increase from 100 to 135? So you subtract. So it shows 35% increased. Okay, so make it 104%, that'll be easier. 27, a study conducted by a mobile phone company found that average battery life at random sample is phones 4.6 hours. With an associated marginal error 0.5 hours. So marginal error, it could be plus minus. Okay, so it goes a positive side 0.5 or negative side 0.5 from 4.6. That's what marginal error means. The study was then repeated the much larger sample size. Larger sample size, that's a keyword. And with the mean and margin of error, the new sample being calculated in the same way as the original study. So which of the following is the most likely true? So only thing different is you have a bigger sample size. Okay, and then if you read the answer choices, they talk about the mean, the new mean, and new margin of error. So here's the thing. Instead, if you increase the sample size, that means more exact. Okay, the more sample you have in the survey, you're gonna close to the actual value. So your margin of error will be go down if a sample size gets bigger. Okay, if you get that concept, you can choose answer. Let's see. So margin of error with a bigger sample size should be smaller. Okay, so you said margin of error is larger in the new study. That doesn't make sense. So should it be smaller? That's okay. And then mean. Mean, well, we don't know actually, right? With the bigger size or a smaller size, mean, we don't know. So we don't talk about the mean here. It will be bigger, smaller, we don't know. So answer has to be B, okay? Only thing clearly we know is If you increase the sample size, then your margin of error will decrease. Okay. Number 28. So they gave you two equation. One is exponential. The other one is linear. So on exponential equation and linear equation are given, and each equation estimates the luminosity of the in units of billions of solar luminosities for type 1 supernova d days after its peak luminosity. Okay, for d is less than or equal to 6. The luminosity in billions of solar luminosities estimated by the linear equation 3 days after its peak luminosity, how much greater than the luminosity estimated by the exponential equation. So I'm going to substitute 3 into both equations and then see the value for linear equation is how much greater than exponential equation. So let's calculate L1 10 times 0.89 to the third power. So put in the calculator. I got 7.05 around. Now luminosity for linear 9.75 minus 0.83 times 3 7.26. So approximately how much bigger? So 7.26 minus 7.05. So that's approximately 0.21. So answer A. Okay, you plug in those 3 into those equations and then subtract, and we'll get the answer. 29. A bag contains X apples, Y oranges, and Z pears. If one of these fruits is selected random, what is the probability selecting a fruit that is not orange? So not orange is apple and pear. So X plus Z, that's your favorite outcome, not orange, over total outcome is X plus Y plus Z. Okay, so if you look at the answer choices, obviously not this. So either C or D. But this probability, same as answer is D, because one is X plus Y plus Z over X plus Y plus Z. Then when you subtract Y over X plus Y plus Z, so this Y cancel out, and then you end up with this, right? So basically D. Okay. Number 30. The histogram shows a summarized two data set, P and Q. Which of the following statements best compares the ranges and standard deviation of the two data set? So they gave you two data set, and then let's look at the detail. So range, we'll talk about range and standard deviation. This one range and standard deviation when you compare. So see which one is bigger. So range, okay, remember y side is frequency and this is actual data value. Actual data value, we don't know exact value, but like in example, you have a 5 data between 0 and 4. So it could be all of them 0, it could be all of them 4, or some numbers they spread out between 0 and 4. Okay, that's what it meant. So range is the biggest number and minus smallest number. So it's not 34 minus 0. It could be in here, all the numbers, it could be 30 or 31. So anyway, so these numbers minus this number will be your range. And for this one, the second data set Q, these numbers minus these numbers. But you know that the first one range is bigger. So this is a bigger, this is a smaller. Okay, their range. Now standard deviation, one thing you should know about standard deviation, the data is more clustered into center to the median, then that's a less standard deviation. So this is a more spread out. So you can say this is a bigger and this is a smaller standard deviation. Okay, so if a data set is more clustered, that means that is a smaller standard deviation. So based on what we found here, let's see. So if you look at the ABCD, so it has a greater range. Data set Q has a greater range and greater standard deviation. So answer A. Okay. Both data should, standard deviation and range should be bigger in the first data. Number 31. What is the median of the 25 data values represent in the dot plot above? So you have a 25 total. So 13th one is your median. So when you count from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So your 13th one, it belongs to 9. So your median is 9. Okay? You count it from the beginning and then look at it, where's the 13th one located? And then in this case, 9. The given equation represents volume X of 10% salt water and then will be mixed with the Y, 20% salt water to produce 18% salt water. Okay, what volume in gallons of the 20% salt water solution will be needed if 50 gallons of the 10% salt water is used. So let's plug in what we know. So this is X value. Okay, based on what is said here. Now you're looking for Y value, right? Because Y is a 20% salt water solution, and that's the question here for volume. So if you substitute 0.10 times 50 plus 0.2, I'm gonna just write 0.2, 0.18x, X we know, 50 plus Y. Okay, so let's simplify. 0.1 times 50 is a 5 plus 0.2y and 0.18, 9 when you distribute, plus 0.18y. When you subtract 0.18y both sides, so 0.02y, and then you subtract 5 both sides, so 4. Okay, so 4 divided by 0.02, y is 200. That should be answer. Okay, just 200. So you plug it in, find out right value for the variable, and then find out unknown values. Okay. Number 33. The scatter plot shows the relationship between two variables, x and y. A line of best fit is also shown. For how many data points does the line of best fit predict a greater y value than the actual? So this dot represents actual, and this is a predicted value. And then you're looking for how many data value the line of best fit predicts greater y value than actual. So when you look at those three underneath that line, so your predicted value is greater than the actual one. Okay, so then you should say 3 points. You just count it. Number 34. Ax minus 3 is a factor of 6x cubed plus 27x squared minus 54x. A is a positive constant. What is the value of A? So let's factor this given one. When you factor out 6x first, hold on. You can do 6x doesn't work. So 3x. So 2x squared plus 9x minus 18. And then you can factor more. 2x, x like that. And then positive 6 here. So that's a 12x and then minus 3. Yeah, and then 12x minus 3x is 9x. So that's the right factoring. Now when you compare, it said ax minus 3 is a factor, so equivalent to this. So your a value 2. Okay, 2 is the answer. After you factor, you can compare. Number 35. Set k consists of all positive integer less than or equal to 150, where none of the integers are repeated and a number is selected random from the set k. What is the probability of selecting number that is even and less than or equal to 30? So what's your favorite outcome? Selecting a number is even and less than equal to 30. So start from 2, 4, going all the way up to 30. So you have a total here 15 numbers. Okay? Because 30 divided by 2 will be 15. So you know that that's a 15 numbers. So probability selecting that is a 15 out of, you have a total, all the positive integer, so 1 through 150, every single one is 150 numbers. So when you reduce, 1 out of 10. Okay? That will be your answer. Number 36, the volume of sphere, 20 cubic centimeters. And then you have one sphere here, and the other one is a bigger one. And this volume A, so volume A is a 20. And then it said radius, this is a B. Radius, sphere B has a radius 2 times. So let's say R here and 2R. So what is the volume of sphere B? Okay. If you have a scale factor is at 1 to 2. Scale factor is the ratio of the radius in this case. So R2 to R is a 1 to 2. Now volume, ratio of volumes is a cube, okay? Cube of scale factor. So which is 1 to 8. So that means if this one volume is 20, then 8 times of that. So 20 times 8, 160. So 160 will be your final answer. Okay? So ratio of the volume, if two figures they are similar, in this case, of course, all the spheres are similar, then ratio of volume is cube of scale factor. If they talk about area, then ratio of the area is square of scale factor. Okay, remember that. Number 37. When Karina walks from home to work, and she burns 5.3 by walking. And she rides the bike from home to work, she burns 6.4 calories per minute. If Karina spent total 6 hours, but remember the time unit, walking and bicycling from home to work in a week and burns a total 1941 calories to doing these activities. So how many minutes does she spend bicycling? So let's say X is your answer. So which is a minute for bicycling. So you can set it up this way. Total calories she burned 1941. That's gonna be equal to by walking, okay? By walking 5.3, and by bicycling 6.4. So you can say 6.4x. Okay, so this is a calories burned by bicycling. And calories burned by walking is a 5.3 times. Now, here's the thing. 6 hours into, you have to change into minute. So 6 times 60 is 360. Okay, that's a total exercising time. So 360 minus x was the minute for bicycling. So that's the rest of time for walking. So this one is by walking. Okay, that's the total here. Okay, total calories. So now you simplify and solve for x. So when you multiply it out this one here, so 1941 equals 6.4x plus 5.3 times 360, 1908 minus 5.3x. So if you collect like terms, 6.4x minus 5.3x, 1.1x. And then if you subtract 1908 both sides, $33. So your x value, when you divide it 1.1, 30. Okay, so 30 minutes she spent for bicycling. Okay, last one in this unit. Number 38, quadratic function can be used to model the height of the object above the ground in terms of time in second. After object was launched, and then according to the model, object was launched into the air from height of 0. In the beginning, height was 0. And reached the maximum height 784 feet 7 seconds after it was launched. So based on the model, what was the height of the object 3 seconds after? Okay. So if I quickly draw the situation here. So it was a 0 in the beginning. And then, so this is a time and this is a height. Height in feet and time in second. So 7 seconds after it will reach it maximum height, which is a 784 feet. So your vertex is a 7,784. So we can, and question is 3 seconds after it was launched. So 3 seconds somewhere here. What is the height? That's the question. Okay. So we can set up the quadratic equation using vertex form of quadratic equation. Your f of x or y equals a x minus h squared plus k. That's a vertex form. It's good to know. Memorize this one. Now, when you plug in this h and k value, a is still unknown, but we do know it's open downward, so a must be negative. And this one is then x, h is a 784 like that. And then what we know is at this point you can use to find the a value. So 0, 0. Okay. So when you plug in 0, 0, 0 equals a times 0 minus 7 is a negative 7. Negative 7 squared is 49 plus 784. So your a value is negative 784 over 49. By 49. So I got negative 16. So my final equation of this projectile, negative 16 x minus 7 squared plus 784. Now question is 30 seconds after. So you plug in 3. So f of 3, negative 16, 3 minus 7 squared plus 784. So when you compute, 3 minus 7 is negative 4. So negative 4 squared is 16. So negative 16 times 16, negative 256 plus 784. So I got 528 feet, but you don't need to write down the unit. So answer should be 528. Okay, so this one is a projectile motion. It's a quadratic function. So I want to remember this form. Then find out your vertex and plug in that vertex and then use one of the points they gave you. So it said initially was a 0 feet, so I can use 0, 0, and then you can find out a value. And then after that, you set up your final function of the projectile. Then you plug in 3, okay? Then you'll get the final, your height at t equals 3, okay? That's it for this section 4 calculus section. And then I will see you other test.